Let's talk some what if affirmations and why they're so effective. The most effective kind of affirmation that you can do because it allows your mind to explore these lovely ideas. What if affirmations are basically just suggestions. You're suggesting things that you want to experience. Sometimes you're basing them on suggestions of if a problem was resolved. Like, for example, if you're struggling with money, what if I had more than enough money to pay off my bills? What if I was loved and adored? What if this particular challenge floated away? That's basically what you're doing. So you're just kind of rattling off things in the spur of the moment. The reason why I love these affirmations is because they immediately make you feel better when you suggest what if. You're not saying I am this. A lot of times when you say I am, and it's the complete opposite of what you're experiencing now, it can feel very false, almost like you're trying to convince yourself, wishful thinking. Whereas what if affirmations are just this mere suggestion, it's just this mere suggestion of what if this could be better, what if this problem could be resolved, and you could make them as elaborate as you want. That is the amazing part about what if affirmations. The way affirmations are used best is in adjusting your natural self-talk. So we're sort of saying these things not in a way to beat it in our minds, repetitiously over and over and over again, because that just basically exhausts you and doesn't really get it ingrained into your subconscious. Your subconscious will pick it up when you contemplate on it. So when you contemplate on an idea, you then impress your subconscious because you're sort of dwelling in the feelings of what it would be like. And when you say, what if? You naturally, easily dwell into these ideas of what it would be like. What if? And it sort of lets your imagination start flowing in the best possible way. And it's just sort of this like free-flowing experience of suggesting these wonderful things, and you can kind of just allow yourself to be spontaneous with them. I mean, you could write down some what if affirmations and say those, but I would more so suggest kind of, thinking about whatever is troubling you, and then start saying what if and resolve the problem. So what if this person apologized to me? What if I suddenly had enough money to pay off this debt? What if this circumstance was no longer in my life? You cannot go wrong with what if affirmations. You can say it in pretty much any way possible. You'll know it's working if you feel better. So if you start saying what if and you make it elaborate, you make it lovely, you make it to your exact specifications, because it's just a what if. It's not like, well, how is this going to happen? It's just like, well, what if this did happen? It releases resistance pretty much immediately, allows you to feel comfort in a way that you weren't feeling it before. And that's the coolest part, is that it allows you to feel comforted. It allows you to release resistance. It allows you to get to that place of alignment immediately. Now, I sort of developed what if affirmations because I was experiencing a ton of anxiety about a situation that was unresolved. And I just did this for like an hour, and I basically did it because it was making me feel better. And you'll know if a technique is working because it's how you feel. And if it's making you feel better, you know that it's working. And I immediately felt better. And the cool thing is that I actually got a breakthrough in something that I had been struggling with. And I got a breakthrough within an hour of doing this. And I have used this technique. I've shouted it to the moon. I started releasing videos on my channel about this. It was about 2016. Because what if affirmations are your most powerful tool to adjusting your natural self-talk. Because if you can get your feelings on board, then your self-talk will automatically be in harmony and in alignment with that idea. And this is why it is the most powerful form of affirmations that you can possibly do. I like affirmations as a form of self-talk, as a form of naturally adjusting self-talk. You can understand your self-talk by becoming very aware of the self-talk that is happening on autopilot, and then sort of adjusting it as needed, or even understanding, where do these ideas come from? Where do these limiting beliefs come from? Why do I put so much faith in this idea of lack or limitations? So we sort of adjust from there. And again, you'll know it's working by how you feel. So you'll know if you're doing a technique properly by how you feel. Is it making you feel better? Is it making you feel at one with your best life ever? If it's making you feel drained, exhausted, uncomfortable, confused, anxious, the technique is not working. You do a technique not because the technique itself is what brings about change. It's how the technique makes you feel. And that's why I love what if affirmations, because they instantly make you feel better. And you can do them by taking the problems in your life and saying what if and suggesting the opposite. It doesn't really matter what wording you use as long as the suggestions that you are posing are making you feel comforted inside, like there is a solution. You do not need to calculate how the solution comes into being. You just say, what if a solution exists? And you could even use that. Whatever is going to make you feel better is the right answer. So you could close your eyes and say these, for like I did the first time that I thought up this idea. And I really just thought up this idea because posing these suggestions was making me feel better. And I found that if I formed it in a what if question, I could be more elaborate and kind of get on board with it because it was just a suggestion. And I would be like really elaborate, like what if these problems resolved within the hour? What if what I wanted was going to happen the next day, as opposed to logistically thinking it would take time. And this is what I would suggest that you do, is just kind of these what if suggestions. It's similar to kind of the wouldn't it be lovely technique, although at that time I'm not even sure I knew that technique existed. What if I had the life that I dream of? What if these things could find me? What if I didn't have to look for solutions? What if solutions could find me? So again, you're going to know if a technique is working by how it makes you feel. And these little suggestions are going to make you feel a certain way. And the trick is that when you start to feel that way, you want to carry that feeling with you throughout the rest of the day. And that's how you seal the deal. That's how you cement it into place. So think in terms of simplicity, something that could feel lasting, something that could feel at one, like hopeful, optimistic, sort of an expansion in your mind. You're going to know it's working if you feel this way. If you are feeling exhausted, if you are feeling tired, if you are feeling like you're trying too hard, I want you to take a break, put it aside, and just connect to that oneness within you of just calm, feeling like you don't have to do anything anymore. Because the great secret is that all of these limiting beliefs, when we unravel them, you at the heart of what you are is abundance, light, love, all of the greatest things in the world. So if we can kind of unravel all this other stuff, all the good stuff will come by default. So you don't necessarily need to implement all of the good stuff. We just kind of need to unravel all of the limitations, all of the feelings of not being able to have something. Not necessarily implementing feelings of having something, because again, you're meant for all of the greatest things in life. That's really all it is. Enroll in my free 10-day Manifesting Miracles course, studywithveronica.com, personal mentorship there as well. Subscribe for all the tips, tricks, and hacks you need to live your best life ever. And I'm wishing you all the miracles in the world. You deserve it.